Hi everyone, welcome to this week Weekly Market Update. So as usual, let's review what happened last week. Then we'll talk about what's coming up for this week to take note, and then we'll talk about some look at the chart as well. And then today this video, right? Besides talking about that, I also want to talk about the Gamestop saga. What happens to Gamestop as well? There's three counter basically. What happened to them, and then what is short selling as well. So if you're interested to find out more all this content, you can actually stay throughout this video. But please remember to follow and like my video as well. Alright, so let's see what happened last Friday. We can see that Dow actually dropped more than 600 points. Based on the news, you can see that um, mainly not just Dow itself, mainly the main three major indices has been suffering, uh, you know, the worst decline since October. Um, Mainly is because due to the short squeeze of the stocks trading, or mainly is because due to the bad economy news, or maybe it's due to the um sentimentals of the market is really at the high at the moment and without the stimulus pushing out. So there's a couple of reasons actually push it down over the past week. So to me, I think it's because as you can see that of this GameStop saga, if let's say you have been following very closely, you know that this is has been introduced on the Reddit itself. So what happened is that GameStop has been speculating. People have been speculating on GameStop, AMC, Nokia, BlackBerry, all these company to all-time high, maybe surge around 1,000, 2,000%. Uh, People might actually sell off their shares on hand or hedge fund because the hedge fund is actually shorting on GameStop. They are losing money. They are actually selling their position on hand to to pay on these losses. Then or people who don't even wish to buy those kind of fundamental good stocks because they just want to put the money for this kind of quick profit. That's why the throughout market no one might be trading. There is a higher volume in GameStop and AMC as well. But ultimately I think it's because market is at the high side. And with the market top right now, so that's why the market dropped. So however, this kind of issue, right, like GameStop, this kind of issue, right, is actually very uh unhealthy to the market itself, right? Because it make the market like a casino mindset at this moment. So please, if you are really those kind of stable person that you want to trade based on fundamental, trade based on technical, right? Please don't go into this kind of stocks because it's just a matter of times when you will burn your hands. All right. So think on that. So all right. Let's see what happened to games. Okay, so this is what happened last Friday. But of course, why I say right now, market is weak at the moment. You can see based on the chart itself, market is weak at the moment because there's three things to consider. Uh, One, sign of showing weakness mainly is because corporate earnings seems decent. As we can see that last week, right, the earnings of like big company like Microsoft, like Apple, Facebook is all doing good, right? But then the market did not have the strength to go up. All right, did not have the strength to go up. And with the GameStop saga, Funhouse might sell their shares to convert their to cover their shorts, and on Friday, on technical basis, it touches and closed below 30,000. So this is the strange sign I'm looking at right now to see that the market is actually quite uh not bearish. It's just that it's weak. All right, it's not like oh it would drop, but definitely I'm looking at a short side. I will talk about the chart later. All right, so short selling. What is short selling, right? Short selling is we can see that short selling is actually maybe I'll talk about short selling at the end of the video. So so let's move on first. So next thing to take note is actually on Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself, right, this week actually spiked 20% after Elon Musk said that Bitcoin. So right now, without Trump, I think everyone will be following him, the richest person. We know that he's a Tesla's boss, right? So when he comment on 20 on this Bitcoin, right, then Bitcoin spiked up 20%. But actually it retraced back lah during the weekend, as we know that weekend Bitcoin is still trading as well. So this kind of spike, right, is actually temporary, but will it be fundamentally kick in? I'm not sure. As you can see that throughout my whole entire video, right, I didn't really talk about cryptocurrency because it's very volatile. But today I just want to take a look at it and give some warning sign if let's say you're holding at it as well. All right, next, coming across for this week, right? Things to take note. First week of the month, a lot of big news. PMI, unemployment rate, initial jobless claim, non-farm payroll. All this you have to take into considerations. All right, and this is the first. Actually, people will say that this is the first non-farm payroll jobless claim under Joe Biden's current. So, but he just sit in. So I don't think this figure actually belongs to him. All right, it still belongs to the previous president. So it's the first report. Take note. Next, for earnings, right? For this week, uh, resume. I mean, for technology wise, Amazon, Google, take note. But also take note that on the oil sector as well, on the Ezion, on the Coco Phillips, all this company is on under the oil and gas. All right, so take note on that as well. For tech, Qualcomm is also one of them under the AMD Intel group. So take note on that. All right. So if you are holding this kind of shares, right, please be aware. Market, whether it's good or not. If let's say market sentiment is not really good, right? How good the earnings report? Yes, if unless it's exceptionally good. Otherwise, it will still be pulled out by the whole region itself, right? Next thing, let's take a look at the chart itself directly. Couple of things to share, so go into the chart straight away. Okay, for chart itself, right, as you can see just now, Dow Jones. So previously in my last video, I shared that it's actually an uptrend. So not to short on the uptrend. Am I right to say not to short on the uptrend? I remember I draw something here. I mean, you can look at the video. I say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 market is already something here. I say that we can wait for the market to pull back, then we short it. Correct? At that point of time, I say that we can say that wait for a market to pull back all the way here, then we long it. So we are playing with the trend instead, or with the market to come down, then we long it, wait for the market to play with the trend. Right now it's an anti-short. If you want, it's a quick one. All right, but we never know will it be continue go down or not. No one know. So it's how you actually trade. Whether you're a short-term trader, intraday trader, or whether you're a swing trader, position trader, it's up to you. All right, but on couple of days, I think Thursday itself, when I see there's a red bearish candle. All right, when I zoom in to a 4-hour chart, of course, one day is a big chart, right? When I'm zooming to a 4-hour chart, I can see there is a mini double top. All right, it didn't really successfully break the all-time high, mini double topped. And then when I zoom in again to the 1-hour chart, okay, I think you guys can see. Hold on. Let me. Okay, I look at a 1-hour chart. All right, so it's very obvious right now. If I draw double top, all right, fail, neckline, breakthrough, come back, support and resistance, come down. Of course, at this point of time, I wouldn't know when will it become support resistant. But first sign is it came down, it returned back. All right. I look even at a smaller time frame, I shorted. But of course my stop loss is not very near because I will get stop hunt, right? I will put somewhere higher. All right. So right now I'm riding on the short at this point, at this price, all the way down. So this is why I say support and resistance is a classic move. If you are a TA person, it's a classic move, and there you go. All right. Can you see I'm still holding my short? All right, I'm still holding my short. My stop loss is there. I never set my TP. I'll monitor manually. But if you are working it out, or if you are not free to monitor the market, you can always set your TP. All right. So where am I looking? So looking at this graph, right? I mean this chart, right? I can see that after breaking 30,000, I'm looking at the next is 29,000, 1,000. But actually 1,000 is nothing from Dow Jones. Trust me, it's nothing because right now it's really all-time high. 1% of 30,000 is what? All right. So this is the next point I'm looking at, right, to cover here. Then next is cover the gap. All right, so like I mentioned, things to show of weakness is this three thing, correct? So this is about Dow Jones itself. Next, I'm going to share on, give me a second. I'm going to share on, yeah, I mentioned 2 weeks. Last week I mentioned again, this week I mentioned again, previous week I mentioned started. So it's actually on the dollar index. I say that dollar is going to be strengthened, correct? It's going to be strengthened, and then but it doesn't work in just in just a few days. All right, it takes times. On 31st January, I mentioned it. So right now it's still mini consolidations. I believe the upside trend is there. It form a stable support here. So we shall see whether will it continue to go up or it will successfully break 90, then go to 88 zone. This is the zone I'm looking to buy actually. But if it never break down, I will look for sign to go up. Alright, to go in. Alright, next thing. Mentioned before, US oil. Okay, for US oil, right? Watch out, US oil. What happened to US oil is that we can see from the chart is also consolidate mini is squeezing. The candle is going smaller and smaller, is squeezing. So it's waiting for either side to break out. So oil, right, is actually at the very mixtures of the trading at the moment, mixtures of sentimental at the moment. Why? Because we know that last week there's a lot of you can see that with the increased crude oil inventory, but with the curve of the supply, right, it's very contradicting right now. And then I think there's a cut in the Saudi Arabia oil supply, causes the market to be very at a mixture of the sentimental at the moment. All right, so watch out for oil if you are into it. So it's squeezing right now. Next thing is on the STI local market. STI mentioned 31st Jan, looking resisted by this today, resisted by 3000. Here's the 3000 point. But previously I mentioned, yes, double key resistance was from the previous double top neck 9 at 2050. Actually it's 50 point away. So 3000 is actually a classic figure for STI. If you look at the long time chart, you can see that if you go up 3000, it will be at the upside. Below, it will become down below. So 3000 is a classic support resistance. It didn't break through, it came down right now. So where am I looking at right now? I'm looking at between 2750 to 2850, this trend line. All right, I mean this region, whether will it come back or not. Why? We are waiting for the 100-day moving average to catch up as well. All right, sometimes alright, we are waiting for it to catch up as well. So I'm looking for more at the downside. If let's say US at the big brother is coming down, so here might have some chance. All right, take note on the STI. Next, yes, hardly mentions, but right now let's take a look of Bitcoin. Bitcoin. So sorry, give me a second. Bitcoin. Okay, on Bitcoin. So can you see? This is a daily chart. So what happened? It spiked 20%, right? When Elon Musk actually talked about it in Twitter, but it came down. We traced back. Right now we are looking at 30,000 support. I won't know. I won't touch lah. I mean, I just shared with you guys. That's my view. Resisted at the moment. All right, resisted at the moment by the moving average itself, by the trend line itself. So I'm looking at 30,000. Will it buffer here or not? If it break, then we will next fall, next support. When you set MA, you must use it. I mean, MA is a laggard. Everyone is looking at it, but somehow it gives you some sign as well, right? The first support. So I mean, I just use a simple indicator to show you guys how to use it. All right. If you broke out, then we will talk about another. Right, like I'm not going to touch this, I'm just sharing my view. Next is all the silver. All right, I mentioned to share silver because I see something over the weekends. So silver, let's take a look. Okay, for silver at a longer perspective, right? Okay, so what happened? Silver, this green line is a support resistance line. Classic move again. Can you see? It break through, it came down, it go up again. All right. So right now I'm looking at silver. First target is at 30. All right. Next aggressive target is 32.50 cents. All right. So I ride with the trend. So right now we can see that the trend is very obvious. Silver is like another way of gold lah. So right now up, come back, strength is up unless it's being rejected at this point of time. All right. Unless it's being rejected. If this break the successful high, it will go even higher. So it's up to you for your risk reward. If you want to long here, then your stop loss must be here. All right. This is your risk. Right, if you want to long right now, then this your reward, correct? This is your risk. Otherwise you can wait for pullback, then you long, then your risk is smaller. So it's subjective to individual, right? But I'm looking at the positive side for silver. All right, next I'm looking at, okay, let's review some trade then right now. Previously we talked about WBA. Alright, this is a close trade. Can you see? Last week mentioned, uh, it touches my first TP, right to the second TP, it touches close. So this is a end of the game. Alright, will it go up or not is subjective to individual, but I'm always based on risk reward. Alright, I can't ride throughout. If I want, I can. There's no sign of there is no sign. Alright, there is no sign of weakness unless this red candle is really the first sign. Right, this someone said shooting star is the first sign. So it's up to individual. Alright, so but this is done deal. Next is LU. LU is also done deal. Alright, remember I shared so sorry. Alright, I shared, so it's done deal as well. It hit my second TP. Alright, and then that's it. So that it pull back. Actually, this is still a good counter. Why? It touches the first MA, it pull back right now. See that? So I'm actually kind of like LU. I mean, in long term perspective, I will continue to write it if you want. But if you hit your TP and that's it lah, then wait for the next entry to go in. Alright, manage your risk. Next thing. Alright, this is the stop loss. I mean, stop loss is common if you are doing trading. If you don't stop, you can see what happened. So I mentioned this last week. I say new counter to watch, right? So at the start it's good, continue right. Suddenly came down, gap down. If you stop, like I mentioned, 68, you at least the damage you take is maybe at a extra slippage of $3. But if you don't stop out, that is 47 right now. Can you see the pin? So that is stop loss. So if you don't stop loss, right, you can't manage your risk, right? Whatever you make over here, right, or previous the two counter that you make, right, all will be loose until one counter. So no point. So remember to hit the stop loss. Alright, you need to stop. This is the rules of trading. Next, I shared in my public telegram. Wow, this is really the great catch if you catch it lah. Right, I mentioned on this I show the weekly chart as well. I say this company is really good in terms of what? First, on FA. It's really good. As quarterly report 1490% last quarter. Why not give it a try, right? I say when I mention it's somewhere here. 1 week candle, correct? So if you take a chance to long, alright, your risk is somewhere here. Cut loss, correct? Then what happened? Can you see? Breakout, first, second breakout, 100+%. Of course, it pull back. It's not sustainable. But what I'm trying to say is that if you won't hit your TP here, sure not, maybe you will hit somewhere here. You already taken already. Correct? From here to here is still decent, 60+%, 50+%. So congrats if you write on it. Congrats if you follow my private, public telegram. All right, remember to follow there. Next, I mentioned JKS. JKS, another solar company, but then it's China. So I mentioned somewhere, if you want to long, please, right now is consolidate. Consolidations, there's two ways to play. You can play at long at the support, long at the break of the resistance. So if you long in the middle, there is always this thing. Correct? But if I long at the middle, my cut loss will be here. So right now we are looking at it closely, whether will it be supported by first by the MA. If it break the MA, second, if it break the 56, I don't think it's a good sign. Alright, as we can see that throughout the whole overall solar is at the high side lah. So even you look for the solar ETF, you also know it's at the high side. So market is coming down, the throughout, whether how strong it is, it will also come down. Correct? Next counter, shared public telegram as well. Good sign to long, somewhere here. This is a day chart. I think I shared on Monday as well. So I shared somewhere here lah. You can join my public telegram to see. So if you want to hold, you can continue to hold. I'm looking at, as usual, same thing, no change, 16, 18. But for the first is actually at the 13. Once it hit, then if it break, then we go higher again. The first immediate support will be at $9. If it came down, alright, then no point. If it came down, then no point. Alright. Next, Nicola, shared risk reward. If you dare to take the risk, you are being paid off. Alright, 10 January, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. If you're long, this is what the reward you take. Alright, I say EV truck, everyone go to EV vehicle, EV car, EV truck might be next. So I shared using Nicola because as an example of EV truck. But I'm not into it. I'm not into it. I'm actually into another counter on EV truck. That is on the public private Telegram lah. So but if you don't have, you also can use this. It's still good, alright? It's still good. If this is good, my counter is good as well. Alright, so that's all for this week. Let's look into what is short selling. People who are keen, what is short selling? Short selling is when fund house they do their own research, they think that this company is not good, they are going to sell at the current price. Alright, they are going to sell at the current price. So assuming that GameStop was at $100, they think that GameStop is overvalued, is an undervalued stock, they sell at $100. But in order to sell it, right, they need to borrow the script from the market to cover back. So if let's say throughout the whole market is buying, then when they are buying, means that fund house is losing money. In order to cover that, they need to buy in the market. So it's like they are squeezing themselves. I'm shorting, I'm buying, so I'm supporting the market again. But of course, there's a lot of counter they are actually shorting. Signal to take note whether which there is one common signal that those counter is being short, right? There's one common, they share the common signal. What is the common thing? First, like take a look. Remember, take a look. It's always the outstanding shares, not the market cap. The market cap is not. It's only 700 billion at the point of time for GameStop, but based on current price is 22 billion. All right, but take note, it's the outstanding shares. They will always choose those kind of shares, right? It's not a lot, so it's easier for them to push up. You get what I'm trying to say? Easier for them to, another word called manipulate. So you can see that GameStop shares is only less than, it's only 69 million. AMC stocks is only 137 million. But let's take a look at Nokia. Nokia is one time being played. How many shares is there? And at the point of time, Nokia is at $4. $4 for here and $4 for GameStop is, you know, how much money you need to push up Nokia or not. Of course, when at $4 price is easier, but when it comes to $9, if you want to go even higher, it's harder. Right, so this is one common thing. If you are looking for those kind of share that has been spike up like 120, 200%, right? Mentioned by Reddit, you can see one common thing: their shares is always not a lot. All right, for them to play. So I will share the link for you guys to read on this one, so that it actually explain what is short squeeze. All right, so that's all for this weekly market update. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and then please trade safe. I will see you guys next week again. Thank you very much. Bye bye.